Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, 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 check. 1, 2. Hey, this is my normal conversation voice. And I think that is a good level. Do you want to give us a sample, Lauren?
Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So.
All right. How are you doing, Lauren?
I am good. I'm a little over caffeinated.
I am ecstatic. I just saw Morocco beat Portugal in the quarterfinals of the World Cup, and I could not be more excited to see the first Arab country to move on to the semifinals. This is not a sports podcast, but this is the time when I get most into sports, and I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy, Lauren.
I know you're so happy. You know, I don't understand, if we have this, countries fighting countries in sports, why can't we just avoid war and just have that be, but just raise the stakes a little bit, just like the winner takes your land kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, whatever issue the war is about, you just do that in football. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
See, this is a popular question. This is just like, if international sports are so competitive, right? Why don't we just do that instead of war? Why do people have to die? Unless that's one of the conditions of the match. But Russia was not going to solve whatever issues they had with Ukraine in a football match. There would be no way that would happen, you know?
I just think life would be nicer if there was less death.
I think life would be nicer if there was less war and more football. And those are both things that are achievable, but I don't think that there is going to be one solution that achieves both of those things in the way that you have described.
Okay, well, that's all I got. So time to pack up the microphone and leave.
Is this our last episode now?
No.
Okay, good. Because I like podcasting with you. But yeah, happy World Cup, everybody. The best time every 4 years. This has been the longest 4 years between World Cups ever.
Yeah? I mean, this is our first World Cup together.
This is our first World Cup as a couple. How do you like it?
Yeah, there's the soccer ball gets kicked around the world for a cup of water. So, yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I understand sports.
I mean, it's not being kicked around the world right now. It's just being kicked around a couple of stadiums.
Can you prove that it's not being kicked around the world right now? No, you cannot, sir.
No, I'm not in Qatar right now to watch the ball get kicked around their stadiums.
World.
Qatar is in the world, yes. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Do you want to get into Taylor Swift follow-up?
All right. So our last episode, we talked about Taylor Swift's album, which was about to be released. I believe we released the episode after the album was made. So yeah, pretty good album. She really killed it with sales because, she's got, let's see, she has multiple different colored records and CDs. And then she has the Midnight's album. And then she has the Midnight's 3 a.m. version, which is just 6 added songs on a completely separate album. And yeah, no, pretty great.
Don't forget the Target edition.
Yeah,
which has one extra song that you can only hear by buying the CD or record or whatever that you can only get at Target.
And the clock, the fact that you have to buy all 4 different kinds of records to make the clock that you can buy the hands to it in the store.
So there will be a small portion of people who choose to do that, I assume.
Yes, probably a large portion, actually.
I mean, I wouldn't do it.
Neither would I. I mean, I thought about it, but then I'm like, nah. But yeah, pretty amazing album.
Yeah.
I've listened to it so many times.
She became your number one artist of the year, because of you listening to that album, right?
Mm-mm.
Or was it before that?
Before that, I listened to Lover all the time. Like, I love, love, love Lover, because when we first started dating, that's when it came out. And it was like the perfect, I don't know, it was like the perfect music for when we were falling in love. And
Yeah.
so that's always been my go-to. So I play that album a lot.
Yeah.
But that being said, the most time I ever listened to Taylor Swift in one day was October 16th. So
When Midnight's came out.
Yeah.
And Midnight's 3 a.m. edition.
yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it's wild.
And then the concert fiasco.
That's what I was hoping you would get into.
Yeah, I was going to. Oh my goodness. I am angry about it because I want to see Taylor Swift, okay? Like, didn't get tickets to Lover, regretted it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, COVID kind of effed that up. But I was like, okay, I'm going to get these tickets. I was ready, and they just decided not to make me a verified fan.
So just to explain it as though I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
What was
So-
the whole fiasco?
To get tickets, you had to be a verified fan through Ticketmaster. So a few weeks before the actual pre-sale, you would need to register. There's like a few days of a window where you would have to register with verified fans. And an algorithm or something would determine whether or not you are an actual fan. And it's absurd. And so they do this to kind of avoid people buying tickets just to resell them, right? And they did a horrible job. A lot of fans, including myself, were not verified, and we could not get into the queue to buy tickets.
Mm-hmm.
They quote unquote sent invites to maybe like 1.7 million fans, and
Invites to be able to buy tickets.
yes, and they ended up having 4-ish million show up.
So they invited a certain number of people for the pre-sale, and then somehow more people than that were able to get into the pre-sale.
Yes, and bots somehow got in, which I'm not surprised. And essentially all the tickets sold out somehow, quote unquote. And then they're like, we're just going to cancel the general sale because there are no more tickets left.
So if you didn't have access to the pre-sale, then
You have no luck.
you basically can't buy tickets.
Unless you want to buy them for a couple thousand on all the resellers.
on the scalpers market.
Yes, because all the verified fans that they let in just happened to not be fans.
Yeah.
Or worse, they are fans and then are just selling it to make money.
And
Which
then you're
is
saying-
fair, but
Yeah.
it's shitty.
It's like damn, capitalism. Darn it. And you said the bots getting in, which
Yeah.
like the whole purpose of this quote unquote verified fan business was to
Avoid bots and scalpers.
to prevent bots from getting in. So when you signed up to try and be a verified fan, what exactly did you have to do?
All I had to do was give them my name, my email, my birthday. That's it. You had to be registered with Ticketmaster, but that's it.
So you had to already have a Ticketmaster account.
Either already have one or make one.
Okay. Taylor Swift issued a statement as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said basically that, and I'm paraphrasing, but she basically said, this wasn't supposed to happen. We're working to make sure that this kind of stuff is less likely to happen in the future, or whatever words she used. She was very diplomatic
Yeah.
because it probably was written by her PR team. And I think she also explained that basically she had no choice but to work with Ticketmaster
Yeah.
because for everywhere she could go on the tour, all or almost all of those venues had exclusive contracts with Ticketmaster
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. Something along those lines. She was, like you said, very diplomatic, and she said something along the lines of, I'm not going to make any excuses. But she's like, I did ask Ticketmaster. I'm like, there are a lot of fans. Are you able to handle this? And they kept reassuring her they could. but they couldn't.
Well, they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know how this could have gone without tickets being so expensive and people who want tickets not being able to get them, because at some level you have just pure supply and demand issues where there are more people who want tickets than are able to get them, and so you drive up the price so that fewer people are buying tickets, you know?
Yeah.
It's like how if you want to reduce the number of people in Disney World by half, that's a solution that people have said when they're like, oh, Disney World is so crowded. I don't like it when it's so crowded. They should implement some kind of system or something like that. And then somebody says, well, if you want half the people, then you can just double the price. And then nobody thinks that that's fair, you know, or equitable is probably a better term for it. But like, I was watching this whole thing happen, and like you said, we don't really go to concerts that often. They're pretty expensive, and for most concerts in general, and we just typically don't choose to spend our money that way.
Unless it's an artist we really, really want to see, or if it's very cheap and we're like, oh, let's make a night out, you know?
Yeah, like I got a concert recommendation where it's like $32 per ticket. Well, actually, no, it's $25 per ticket, but then Ticketmaster has a $15 fee. So it ends up being about $65. Who knows what it's going to be after sales taxes.
You want to know something else really effed up? Tickets were supposed to be between $50 and like $450 or like $500. That was the range of the tickets that Taylor Swift stated. And I mean, obviously, all the really cheap tickets would sell out really quickly, but then even in the pre-sale, it was inflated towards the end. But also, they were like double booking seats. You would add a ticket to your cart, start to check out, and then you would click check out, and they'd be like, this ticket's no longer available, which is a huge issue because once it's in your cart, you should have it for at least a certain amount of time.
Yeah, because when I have bought concert tickets in the past,
they're like, you have like this.
It gives you like 10 minutes or something to complete the transaction, and then it holds the ticket for you while you are doing that.
Yeah, so essentially the tickets were not held. And on top of that, people were being told, like randomly getting refunds from the Taylor Swift tickets they bought because Ticketmaster decided, oh no, you don't actually get these tickets. And this is like a few days after the sale that week where it was just chaos. And then other people, they were like, oh, sorry, we sold this ticket to like 3 different people, so you don't get it.
So there are people who are sitting here thinking, oh, yeah, I've got my ticket to Taylor Swift. I'm going to see the concert in April. I'm so excited. And then they just get a surprise refund. They're like, oh, we can't, we can't give you this ticket. Actually, here's your money back.
And then the scalpers resold them for thousands. I think the highest one was like $90,000 or something like that to see Taylor Swift.
Is anybody actually going to pay? I mean,
people they're not going to pay that much, but they're going to pay thousands. My mom's coworker, he bought tickets for him and his wife to see Taylor Swift, and he paid $1,000 each.
See, I know that people will pay that much to see a concert, but I cannot imagine myself doing it. You were managing buying the tickets for both of us.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was skeptical that we'd be able to see it anyway, because I think my threshold for how much I'm willing to pay to go to a concert is not that high. I think the most I would have been okay with paying was $130 for a ticket.
Yeah.
And I think I was skeptical that tickets would be available at that price.
I still think we're going to go.
Because you're trying to win contests.
I don't know. I'm just like so determined. The week or like a few days after, I think I started on Friday. So the day the general sale was supposed to happen and it got canceled the day before, I went crazy looked up all these radio contests from all over the states and listened to around 3 to 5 radio stations at once, waiting for a keyword so I could call in. I did this for around 10 hours straight. No luck, but I think I deserve some praise for my effort.
I mean, of course, the other reality of this is that they give radio stations tickets to win these contests. So technically, there are still tickets available to be obtained, potentially not on the scalpers market.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. And I know I contacted some radio stations that I didn't end up winning from, and they told me how they would be having more contests closer to the date of the tour. Plus, we have the candy bar contest. I ordered 5 or 6 candy cane crushed chocolate candy bars, and there's going to be a code on the inside wrapper. And on Christmas Day, they're going to have a live stream on Instagram, and they're going to name a code or like a number. And if you have that number on your candy bar, you win Taylor Swift tickets.
You're talking about this Willy Wonka type contest.
I've wanted a Willy Wonka contest for so long. I used to get the little like Willy Wonka bars at Blockbuster, and they had like a golden ticket in each one, and it would make me so happy. The chocolate wasn't that good, but like I was so happy.
Wait, you could buy, like there was a time when you could buy Wonka branded bars and they just all had golden tickets in them?
I'm going to be really upset if they didn't all have golden tickets and I just happened to have the one with the golden ticket and didn't realize.
Why would that make you upset?
Because I did nothing with it. Like, what if I like won something big? And
were they running a contest at that time?
I don't know. I was a child. I was at Blockbuster.
It makes sense to me that a candy company would choose to just put golden tickets in everything. That deflates the value of golden tickets to almost zero, if that is true.
Yes. So, okay. Yeah, they all had golden tickets. It was called the Wonka bar.
I don't think this was ever a thing in my life.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't mine. My go-to, like I remember specifically one Halloween, I rented the Corpse Bride from Blockbuster, and I got like a tub of popcorn that you could like put in the microwave, and it like looked like a big popcorn you'd get at a movie theater. And I remember getting the Willy Wonka bar, and this is like a core memory that I have, and it was amazing, and I'm really sad you didn't get to experience it.
So there is still hope that we can see Taylor Swift. There is hope for other people seeing Taylor Swift as well.
It just requires some dedication.
Or lots of money, potentially.
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing, is that although I am not willing to spend more than $120, $130 per ticket, I would be willing to travel to see Taylor Swift. If I could travel to like a nearby city, like Philadelphia or Boston
or California.
California's too far.
You said you would literally travel anywhere.
I think I said that at one time. Yes, I think I said that I would travel to Eugene, Oregon, if that's what I had to do. I don't know if I still feel that way, but I would be willing to travel to see Taylor Swift because even though you're spending lots of money on it, you're getting more than just the concert. You're getting, you could potentially make a long weekend out of it. You can see whatever this other city is. Maybe Eugene, Oregon is a good place for a weekend vacation. You never know. There's probably a bunch of trees and stuff out there.
Trees?
What else do you think is in Oregon?
Boats.
Maybe there are some boats.
That's like saying, Dylan, maybe there are some rocks in Oregon to make it worthwhile.
I'm saying this because Oregon is known for having two things. They have
Portland
trees and the other type of trees.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. So speaking of trees and forests and getting high, there is a new warning from the National Park Service. If you go to Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument in Arizona, it is related to the Sonoran Desert Toad, also known as the Colorado River Toad. So this toad secretes this chemical, which is an extremely powerful toxin. It is poisonous. So people are going out here and finding this toad and trying to lick it because although it is very unsafe to consume in small doses, it will produce in humans a condition known as tripping balls because this toxin has DMT in it, which is a powerful hallucinogen. And so people are going out here and licking this frog, trying to have a hallucinogenic experience.
So they just don't want people to be high?
I think they're just concerned about people eating frog poison.
Yeah, I get that. They're probably also just worried for the frogs.
Yeah, I mean, they don't
They're just
want...
living their life and all these giants come and lick them. Can you imagine a giant coming and licking your face?
I'm just imagining myself like walking around in daily life and some giant just picks you up and starts slobbering all over you.
That'd be kind of terrifying.
That would be terrifying. I'd be scared for my life. And then what do these people do after they lick the frog? Like, I can't imagine that everybody is being the most careful with these creatures. Like, you could gently set the frog down and maybe the frog will be fine. But I had this classmate in high school who talked about going out to the farm in the middle of the night, and he and his friends, when they were smaller kids, would pick up the frogs from the farm and just like throw them, like just yeet them across the field to see how far they could throw a frog. And I'm like, that's terrible. That is the worst thing. Why would you think that this is funny? You know?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely horrible.
These frog lickers out here, no good. The National Park Service has had to issue a warning against licking the frogs in this park. They're basically just like, hey, these frogs are poisonous. Stay away from them. You could get really, really, really sick.
Dumbass people.
Yeah.
But also by giving that warning, like I would never know that existed. They're like spreading awareness that there are frogs in Arizona that if you lick, you get really high.
You're giving people the idea to lick the frog.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when I was a little kid, my grandma had her curling iron on in the bathroom because they were babysitting me. It's this really shiny curling iron. It's like this metal tube that's really shiny and polished.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandma says, Dylan, don't touch this. It is very hot. But then I'm going in and out of the bathroom because I'm also getting ready for the day. And in my little 5 to 6 year old brain, I'm just thinking, it's so shiny. And then I'm thinking, I mean, how hot can it actually be? And so I reach out to touch the curling iron, and of course I get burned, and I'm screaming in pain, and then my grandma comes in and is like, Dylan, I told you not to touch the curling iron. But in my little brain, it didn't occur to me that a thing could be that hot. That happened a lot when I was that age. In the same building we lived in at the time, we had this elevator it was this giant steel door that when the elevator comes to your floor, you have to open this door with hinges and then walk through the sliding elevator door. I don't even know if it had a sliding elevator door. I think it was just open on that side. And one time on my way to preschool, I got my hand smashed in this super heavy steel door and had to go to preschool with ice on my hand.
I'm sorry, I wasn't as interested in that story.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I guess I'm just really boring.
You're not.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the time.
Come on.
Ooh, I have a story.
All right.
So I work at a gym. It's a mainly corporate gym, so we have a lot of people come in during their lunch break and stuff to work out or to shower or whatever. So, but we do have some people come in, and this is the first person who came in, I think, while I was working, who was very high profile. So this guy comes in and like I don't recognize him. Like he has kind of like a like grayish stubble or something. His sunglasses on and a hat. I don't recognize him. He's like trying to figure out how to do the app and it's like I don't want to re-download it. One of the people I was with was like, we can just look you up by your name. So he's like, cool, Terry Crews. And I'm like, how do you spell that? Because, like, I didn't, like, he said Terry Crews, but, like, I just thought it was a coincidence that he had that name.
You thought that Cruz could have been spelt C-R-U-Z.
That's what I looked up. And so he was like C-R-E-W-S. And I was like, okay. And, like, I was cut off by, like, the manager. And he's like, you're good. Just go. And he's like, it's just like, Lauren, that was Terry Crews, you know? And I'm like, wait, like the guy, Terry Crews? He's like, yeah. So I met Terry Crews at work.
Terry Crews, the giant, muscular actor who has been in Old Spice commercials and
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He played the president in the movie Idiocracy.
And he's the MC for America's Got Talent.
Yes, very famous, well-known American actor.
And I wonder if Terry Crews like remembers this moment, just like this person just didn't know who I was.
Maybe. I don't know.
But let me tell you, Dylan, he got done with his workout. He went down the stairs and I've never seen a man glisten.
You've never seen a more shiny man?
Very shiny, very glisteny.
Was he just sweaty?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He was wearing like a tank top, so it was like muscles were.
Well, he's bald, right?
He had a hat on.
Okay. But
well, he had a hat on when I met him.
Did he have a hat on when he was walking down after his workout and all shiny?
I don't think so.
Because you know how bald people, they got the bald head shine.
Their bald oil to make their head shiny.
I don't think that head oil is a thing in the way that you think it is.
If you are bald, you don't want to just have like knee, like you don't want your head to look like a knee, like the knee skin, right?
Head skin and knee skin are different.
You know, I think you're wrong. I think heads that are bald look like knees, like really big knees. And the way people make it look not like a knee and like a shiny head is with bald oil.
Okay, let's say you're correct. Let's say people who are bald choose to put some kind of product on their head to make it shiny or to, I'm sure they have to moisturize it. You got to put sunscreen on it. You know, if you're going outside, you have to put sunscreen on your bald head in order not to get a sunburn. What if what they're putting on their head is just sunscreen or moisturizer or coconut oil? Like, why does it have to be a bald person specific oil? Because they have to wear sunscreen anyway, you know?
They don't have to.
If I am bald ever, I will put sunscreen on my head because I do not want to get skin cancer on my head. It is a problem that a lot of bald people have. They get skin cancer on their head because of repeated exposure. What are you showing me right now?
I am showing you a picture of a man and his head is cut in half by a line.
Cut in half? Lauren.
And one side
this
is
is
shiny.
A family-friendly podcast.
And one side it is not shiny. It is matte. And it is an advertisement for some bald oil. All right. I Googled bald oil to make it shiny, right? Yes, weird stuff could have come up from that, but it's fine. So let's see. We have bald head polish, men's aftershave polish for men.
Men's aftershave polish for men.
It is an Amazon. It's on Amazon, and that's just what it's called. It's waterproof moisturizer for bald heads.
The Alex Jones grooming
Great for
shop?
Father's Day, Christmas, holiday. And it has a...
Okay, so it has an illustration of... Well, that looks like it's the thumbnail for a video.
Yes, it is a video.
Okay, all right. So the guy has musical notes floating in front of him, and now he's rubbing his head. It's like this animated video. Okay, now he has this slightly shiny spot on his head, and a white thumbs up guy is saying thumbs up, and now he's like spraying his head with water or something like that. And there's a bee. There's a bee in front of him. Oh, is it Burt's Bees?
No, it's not, but they do have a bee on the product, like on the packaging.
And it's not Burt's Bees?
No, it's Sweet Comb Chicago.
Okay, so no copyright infringement here.
All right, we have some head lube.
Lube?
That's what it's called, head lube.
What do you have to...
Glossy.
What do you lubricate your head? Are you trying to squeeze it into something? Or trying to squeeze it out of something?
It's to make it shiny.
Okay, look, here's the thing.
Bald oil.
How much does this stuff cost?
Or you can get Zero Shine 2.0 to make it not shiny.
How much does this stuff cost?
The Zero Shine 2.0 is $32. The head lube is 99 cents. The bald head polish with the bee is $24.50. And there are a lot more.
Are these like large quantities, or is it like
hair? It's like the size of like a hair product.
Is it like the size of a tube of toothpaste, or like one of those circular of containers?
I feel like it's a little smaller than your shave cream. Like your like Noble Otter.
Okay, so it's maybe like 4 inches around and like an inch and a half tall. My point is that, okay, maybe that's not a terrible price for what it is, but if I'm bald and if I want my head to be shiny, like, well, I don't need head-specific oil. I could just use coconut oil or just regular moisturizer or sunscreen, because I'm probably going to wear sunscreen anyway, and that's just going to make my head shiny. I don't know if I would want to make my head shiny specifically.
Don't worry. If you have a naturally bald, shiny head, they have mattifiers to make it less shiny.
So this is for people who naturally have oily heads that want to make their head matte?
Yes.
Okay. How many...
okay, it's not about if the product is worth it or if the price of the product. It is the fact that you have told me for years that this product does not exist. People do not use head oil to make their head shiny, and they do. And that is the point of this.
The only thing that you've proven is that there is a market for this stuff. You have never proven that there is any real-world example of somebody doing this in their regular daily life for a regular person.
There are tons of YouTube videos.
Okay, but how do we know that they're real? How do you know that anything's real, Lauren? The only thing that you can truly know for yourself with 100% certainty is that you exist.
That's not true.
Explain.
I have no proof that I exist.
I mean, I have no proof that you exist, but I have proof that I exist.
You don't. You shouldn't.
I experience existence.
What do you think happens with robots that become, what's the word?
Sentient?
Yeah.
Has that happened yet?
I don't know. Maybe we're robots. Maybe we're really realistic robots. Also, this brings me to the point. How do you know that they aren't kicking the ball around the world for a cup of water?
The only thing I can know is that I exist. I could be a robot. I could be in a simulation.
All of what you're saying could be scripted, you could just think you exist, but really you have zero control over it, and you don't actually exist.
I could be an organic being in a world where everybody else is a robot, and I could be the only organic being in the world.
You could be a frog.
I could be a frog. I could be a frog that's hallucinating on my own secretions and thinking that I'm a human person in human society. What if that's true?
Yeah, it could be. You never know.
I used to, when I was 7, I had this idea that would come into my head every now and then that I was like, what if everything I've experienced my whole entire life up to this point has been a dream, a single dream, and I'm just asleep right now in my baby crib, and I'm just dreaming all of this, and nothing that I've experienced is actual quote unquote real human experience as we imagine it to be.
That could be true, but it's also known that you can't read clocks. Time doesn't exist in dreams, so you wouldn't be able to see what time it is. You wouldn't be able to count your fingers.
But if I'm just dreaming my whole life experience, then that fact that you just said would have been a fact that was conjured in my mind.
That's true. I mean, you
wouldn't
never
be-
know. I have super realistic dreams about just like normal conversations and they end up happening. So,
Yeah. I'm probably going to delete that outro.
yeah, that's fine.